Good evening, friends. Hello. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to warn you that I made the fatal error of snuggling up with my daughter as I put her to bed tonight, and I am quite sure that I fell asleep long before she did. But I felt compelled, like we needed to do this tonight. So this is going to be the first and hopefully a holiday weekend series of videos that you can have some fun with, as I hope all of you are staying home and heeding the advice of our health officials and not going out. So this will give you something to do. So I've gotten a lot of great feedback from sharing pictures of my snowflakes, something I've been doing for many, many years, and it's been a lot of fun. So maybe this year we'll take it to more people and we'll share it. So tonight we must discuss folds. We must discuss paper and folds, and then we'll do cutting, and we'll do revealing and presentation another night. So, but we must do folds. All right. So, paper. I'm going to talk about what I do, what works for me, what I like. I've been successful with it, I would say. It's been a good thing. And you can too. Okay. I use standard 20-pound copy paper. It works great for me. And actually, size doesn't matter in terms of what you like to use, but maybe try to make sure we can see this nice and easy. I have this awesome new desk that we can use. Actually, last year was the first year where I had to buy, many years ago, I bought a ream of 11 by 17 paper, and I made, that's 500 pages. Last year was the first year I had to replace it. So that means just out of that paper alone, I've probably caught 1,500 or more different snowflakes. So makes a nice an 11 by 11. So I'll use this one to start. So as you are working with a very basic piece of paper, we're going to talk about two very basic folds for tonight. And then we might be able to just, if we get any questions from anybody joining us online. So we're going to talk about how to make a 4-point snowflake first, because it's the easiest one to do, and you don't need to measure to do anything. So it's the easiest one. You don't have to measure anything. So you can see I just folded over like that, and now I'm going to fold over again, always meeting up the points. Okay. And then, they were very rudimentary. I'm going to fold the corners to the corner. Yay! I see some people are joining us. I'm very... Okay. So you end up with your product. This is your folded piece of paper that you're ready to cut into a snowflake. Okay. Let's do that all again. All right. So here we'll use this big piece of paper. I have a nice big piece of paper. Mine's square. As I cut off the edge, as I use those other edges when I use it, and I fold it over like so. On this folded side, I fold over, and then I'm tireder than I thought, I think. And I'm not going to do this for too long tonight. And there we go. Now, let's take this one apart and look at it. Or here, let's do it with this one. Here's a smaller piece, okay? So once again, your basic piece of paper, standard copy weight, 20-pound paper. If you're just getting interested in this, this is a really good place to start. Fold it over, and then fold the corners. Okay, let's talk about what we did now. Okay, so let's unfold this. There. You want to be able to just take your basic paper, fold it down, then fold it in half. All right, and then you want to remember this is your center, right? This is the center of the paper, and you're going to want to fold 2 more parts and pieces from the center. Now, you'll notice that I folded those individually. That would be first step towards being a little bit more advanced or particular, because now you have you have as many even pieces of paper as possible. Okay, you could do it where you fold both over. Okay, but then what happens is a lot of the paper that's inside here, it gets bundled up, and depending how you cut it, it's not going to be as precise. So that's why I fold on one side and then I fold on the other side. Keep in mind where your center is. Okay, and now this is even and very nice and very ready to go. Okay, you can do the same thing to get other points. So we'll talk about the number of points on your snowflake, and that'll come out more tomorrow night when we do some cutting. But if you took your piece of paper, folded it in half, down or up, okay, folded it over, and then now you have this piece of paper here, all right, and you're going to need to take this piece of paper and fold it in thirds to get this way. You need to just measure 60 degrees. Take your protractor out. And measure 60 degrees, okay? And that will give you exactly what you want. Let me show you how I use my guides to do this. Okay, so once again, I'm going to take my small piece of paper. I'm going to fold over. I'm going to fold. So it's just like starting out like a 4-point. And then I use, okay, here's the thing. There's one side that has 2, one side that has one fold, okay? I put that fold on the bottom. I measure 60 degrees from the corner. Okay. And then I fold up to it. And I fold over like so. And now this is ready to be turned into a 6-point snowflake. All right. Those are what you would find those would be the ones you would find in nature. Most of the time. Most water freezes into a 6-point crystalline structure. So that's how you fold. Let's do it with a really big piece of paper. Okay. So once again, nice big piece of paper, big fold. All right. And I'm going to take and fold over. One side has 2. The other side has 1. Where's the center? Measure 60 degrees. Okay. I could talk probably at great length about this part of the process. It's tedious. It's not necessarily the funnest part. The funnest part is the cutting. The real funnest part is getting to open them up and see what you do. But this is the most important step in having more successful and beautiful snowflakes, because this is how you determine, this is your canvas. Okay, this is how you prep your canvas to make beautiful pieces of art for the wintertime. Now, I'm going to talk about one other really, really important aspect, if you'll notice what I'm doing. Okay, so once again, we'll focus down here. I'll do it with the big piece of paper. But notice my initial crease. Okay, and then using my thumbnail makes a very strong crease. And again, already you can see this is very exact. So there's the creases, and then there's the quality of the fold itself. Okay, you're going to want to practice. You'll be a lot happier with what you get if you practice your folds and you really make a point. They're very exact. Those two pieces of paper line up perfectly. I insist, they must. And then a good, accurate measurement, if you're going to do something like a 6 point, I want that to be exactly 60 degrees. And now, this is where I can say it. I can see the difference. It's hard to see the shadow. This fold comes exactly down to that point. Perfectly. Oh, I'm going to need a studio to do a better job with this. Maybe next year. Exactly down. And then here again, every single piece, every part of this edge is perfectly aligned. And then I use my thumb to make very slick creases. Look at that. It's exactly, all those pieces of paper are exactly the same size. They're not wonky. And turn around. So, and they come exactly to that point there, as you can see. All right, that you're taking this quarter of piece paper, folding it in perfect thirds, all the way down to the point. It's exactly the same on all sides, and the creases are very, very good. And you can see it's very thin. You want that to be very, very thin. You don't want a lot of bulk. You don't want to make it harder for your scissors. Okay. Another way that you can do this is just use a ruler. If you don't have a very good fingernail, just use a ruler. And actually, well, that would come into play for something else. So I'm so used to using my thumb. And this can make a ruler, or we were just painting, so you can use a stir stick. Go to the paint store and get some free stir sticks. Just ask them for a stir stick. Getting those edges, like I just said. Those edges are right next to each other. So again, very, very clean, very, very precise. Okay. Let me show two other kinds. There we go. As there was a request for these. Okay. What I would recommend is that before you want to actually cut a bunch of snowflakes, fold at least 20 ahead of time. 10 of each, 4, 10 of 6, 24, 20 of the 4-point, 20 of each. Fold as many as you can tolerate, okay? Put on a movie that you've seen 16 times, pour yourself a drink, get yourself a hard surface, and fold up as many as you can tonight. And that's all that you do. Only those. And then put them in a container. Put them in some kind of box, like here. If you have a box of fine American presidential chocolate sweets, just take your folded up snowflakes. Look at that. Now these are all ready to go for tomorrow. Okay? I highly recommend that. And then these are all done. Or you can put them in a Ziploc bag. But get the folds done ahead of time. I was yelling at myself this year because I kept telling myself I should do all my folds. I should start doing all my folding in July. But the truth is that where we live here in Minnesota, the first day of summer, where you go outside and then you have to come back inside and grab a sweatshirt, that's the first sign that winter is on its way. I hate to say it, but it's usually sometime at the end of July. And that's when I signaled to myself that that's when I should start working on folding snowflakes. And I don't start cutting them until it actually snows, but that. So another way you can do this, another type of snowflake you could make would be a 3-point. And this is 60 degrees from here or 120 degrees from there. And you just do the same thing. You make a measurement. There's a very important detail I should not gloss over. Okay, again, be precise. It pays off in the long run. Practice it until it's easy to be precise about it. One thing I needed to do was to know where my center was, okay? You could just pick a center and mark it. Wouldn't matter. I'm not particularly picky about that one. And boom, you just line up those pieces of paper all the way. And off you go. Boom, it's folded, it's ready to go. This would be for a 3-point snowflake. Another easy little trick, fold in half. Now, an easy way to just know that you found the exact center, because maybe you want to get maximum real estate. I prepare this and I'm folding it, and I just that one little piece right there. You can see it's just got that little bit of crease. Also makes it a little bit easier. Boom. Okay. All right. I had a special request from a friend of mine who actually we met because we found each other on Instagram as paper snowflake cutting artists, and he wanted to know more about how to do a 5-point. So let's show you a little bit on how to do a 5-point, okay? I'm going to take my regular piece of paper, and I need to know where the center is. And I'm going to prep one more. Oop, this has got two pieces of paper. With your protractor, measure 72 degrees. So 180 degrees divided by 5 is 36. You need two of them. Well, that's what I recommend, okay? And I measure 72 degrees. Now, back in the day, maybe I would mark that with a pencil. Too bright. Can't see it. Nope, can't see it. Okay, but there. And then I take this piece like so, and I fold that up to where I marked 72 degrees. Okay, really bright light here. Okay, let's do that one more time. So, basic piece of paper, fold, find a center, measure 72 degrees. And make a very precise fold. Now, this is where if you don't have, it's no good if you don't have precision folds, because this 1 degree, this one angle affects everything that comes after it, okay? So with the small one, I'll show. Now, from here, I turn over my paper, okay? And I'm going to take, and I'm going to fold this edge to this edge. So once again, I measured 72 degrees. I turned it over. I folded that edge to that edge. Now, that's not the one you turned it over on. Okay. So you fold the long edge to the angled edge, okay? And then you just fold this back. So that was edge to edge, and then you take that piece and you fold it to meet this edge. And then now on the back, you have it's clean, no folds, and you fold the two edges to meet up with each other. Again, those are two folded edges. Very important to be precise. Voila. All right. So that's where, and you're going to see this is should be perfect 36 degrees. Exactly. All down to the middle. So if you want to cut a Hamilton themed snowflake, stars and stripes are just a nice 5-point star, like the stars on our American flag. This is what you want to work with. Okay. Let's do that again. Regular piece of paper in a square, fold it in half, measure 72 degrees, and fold one angle up to that. Now I'm going to take this side and fold it into this side. Okay. Now I have something that looks like this. I'm going to take the side that I folded. I'm going to have folded back to that side. Now you can see there's a little, it's really hard to see. Not good shadows there. There's a little bit of space between. Okay. And then take it over. And you're going to fold the two sides to meet up with each other. Let's do everybody a favor. It's getting long enough. See, just fold. Now, if I had to sit and tutor you, this would take in person, make sure we got it right, it would take a long time. So I'm going to fold over a big piece of paper. I'm going to find the center. You don't really want to waste any paper space. You want maximum space for cutting. From my center, I am going to measure 72 degrees and fold the first flap up. I'm going to fold this edge to this edge. I'm going to fold back to the new crease I just created. Turn it over, and now I'm going to fold these two edges to each other. Okay. I can't really show you. This is pretty close, but they don't quite meet up. So I got to modify how I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut all of it out so that you don't see my terrible flaw. Let's use this piece of paper, though. So what you've done is you've created 5 spaces. You have to have 10 total because the pattern is always going to repeat upon itself. All right? And 5 is really fun to work with. So again, we folded a regular piece of paper. We folded up. We measured 72 degrees. We went up. We went over. We went back. And then these 2 pieces came together. And that's a 5-point snowflake. So again, I hope you'll have fun with this. Might be something fun for you to do this weekend, Thanksgiving 2020. Fold as many as you can, and so that you have a few really good ones when you get some practice going. And the thing is that once you get going with your scissors, you don't want to stop and have to fold another one. You just want to grab and cut and grab and cut and grab and cut and grab and cut and grab and cut. So it's best to use this in kind of a process. Okay. So thank you. Tomorrow night, we will be taking these and we will be talking about just creating the most basic shapes: 4-point, 6-point, 5-point. Okay, so we'll use that to get into how to do just very, very basic shapes. So we folded 3-point snowflakes. So that's what we had to look forward to. And we'll talk about how to make the most basic cuts. This is St. Paul Snowflakes signing off. Have a great night.